So,
Senior center, yeah. It really wasn't too bad. We were way busy.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome. I would like to open up the committee for the Public Utilities Committee at 6:50, which we're at. At this point, I would like to pass it off to Louis Andres so he can fill in a few blanks for us.
Thank you. I actually met with Eric this morning, and we talked about some of the concerns he had. Uh, One of the things that we wanted to do, particularly with the water supply, is we wanted to make sure that we were meeting all the EPA standards, but also we wanted to make sure that we have taken the recommendations from Sandtech that talked about the sedimentation, and make sure we implemented some safeguards to make sure that we have safe drinking water and meet the EPA standards. One of the concerns that Eric brought was harmful algae blooms, what we call HABs. And we did have a significant bloom 2 years ago. And usually that happens when we have low water coming in, high temperatures. And that was an ideal storm that we had in June of 2 years ago. And as a result of that, we put some protocols in place that we are testing on a regular basis for HABs. And we're also have a treatment that's been approved by the EPA, which is the peroxide. And if you think about peroxide, it's what you put in your toothpaste to whiten your teeth. So it is safe to use, and that's what we use. We use it in the pellet form, and we use the prop wash from the boat motor to dispense it. And as soon as the peroxide hits the algae cells, they explode and die. And that's the treatment that we're using. And that's been very successful. So we have that in place now. The other thing that we're doing right now, and you'll see something come before council, is we have 2 wells that we're reconditioning that are not in operation right now. And so we're getting those ready so that we'll be able to shut down the reservoir if need be and rely solely on our wells. And we have our capacity to meet our need and a little bit more over that. So that way we have a backup if for some reason we cannot use the water from the reservoir. We'll have good well water. So we're being proactive. We have these things together. And I think what we're doing is going to help us. If we do have a situation, we're prepared to deal with it and have a procedure in place.
Excellent, thank you. Anybody on the committee have a question on council? That being said, I move to close the Public Utility Commission at 6:53. Is there a second?
second.
Oh, let's go.
Okay, with that, we'll wait a few minutes until 7 o'clock to start the clock.
Bless you. Welcome.
They're located here.
Oh.
I wrote a straight preview as I composed it. I just said I wanted to. Okay, we will call this session of Mansfield City Caucus meeting to order. Are there any committee reports?
No, it's not. Mr. Diaz.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just two, like to announce some things upcoming. Next Wednesday, May 12th, from 10:30 to 12:30, the First English Lutheran Church is conducting a produce distribution. It's in their parking lot. That's going to be on the corner of Park Avenue and Mulberry Street. They encourage the community, those who really need it, to come out there, pass the word as well, because they don't want to have any boxes left over. And then finally, hopefully I'm not stepping on anyone's toes here by announcing this, but we do have Saturday, the Bike-a-Palooza, and this year it's going to be the biggest one yet. I know Officer Edwards has been doing, he's just been in full gear, him and his, yeah. And just, and one thing I'm going to just brag about you, not that I need to, because we all feel the same way, that I just really love the way that you are being embraced in the community more and more by so many different communities that wouldn't ordinarily uplift the police. And I think you're a testament to doing the right thing, being relatable, and just being out there. And I know this Bike-a-Palooza is a historical 100 bikes. Officer, we're just showing up some pictures of like some more shipments he accepted today. So definitely spread the word. If you know any youth of all ages to come. In addition to the bikes, there'll be food festivities. You can get your current bikes looked at, and that's going to be from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock.
We'll start raffling at 12:30, but it will go till at least 2 o'clock.
Well, thank you. But I'm very excited to be there, and thank you, Officer Edwards. And that concludes my community events. Oh, and Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just would like to say something, and Alan may kick me later for this, but he was recently tested and passed the Ohio Crime Prevention Association Certified Crime Prevention Specialist test. He's the first MPD officer in several years to pass that test, and it's no easy task. I believe it's still 100 questions. It is, okay. And I think that for him to take that on, it's something that's not mandated, and for the chiefs to allow him to do that, that's commended. So thank you again for not just helping the community, but also bettering yourself to improve the community. So thank you for that.
Any other committee reports, public info? Okay, then we'll move on. Mayor?
Okay, well, we actually have two proclamations tonight. So I'm going to do the first one during caucus and the other one during council. I'm going to read it from here with the microphone so it's into the record. But I do want to, I'll call up Carrie Vogt, who is the new executive director of the Mental Health and Recovery Services Board. So this is Mental Health Awareness Month in May. So the Richland County Mental Health and Recovery Services Board is recognizing Mental Health Month. This is a nationwide movement established in 1949 to raise awareness about mental health, reduce stigma, and promote prevention, early intervention, and access to mental health care, and is observed annually each May. This year, the board and the partners proudly celebrate Mental Health Month in Richland County by adopting the national theme, More Good Days Together. This emphasizes meeting people where they are and recognizing that each person's mental health journey is unique and involves strengthening community connections so that individuals and communities can experience more positive, healthy days together. Bringing attention to the importance of mental health and the well-being of everyone, and the behavioral health system in Richland County has a broad continuum of care with a variety of services for both mental health and substance abuse disorders. And to assist those struggling with their mental health, we need to bring awareness to our local mental health system of care. People need to be aware of the services available to them here in Richland County through the Richland Recovery Network, where collaboration meets care. They have a phenomenal group of partnering agencies, including Catalyst Life Services, Community Action for Capable Youth, Family Life Counseling and Psychiatric Services, National Alliance on Mental Illness of Richland County, Urban Minority Alcoholism Drug Abuse Outreach Program, and Coleman Health Services. Richland Recovery Network invites community partners, including Healing Hearts, Counseling Center, 3rd Street Family Health Services, Hope 419, 33 Forever, Ohio Health Mansfield, Psychiatric Services, Starfish Project of Richland County, Encompass Christian Counseling, Project One, and Akron Children's Behavioral Health Mansfield, and Avita Ontario Hospital, and others to join us in support of recovery, because people can and do recover from a mental health diagnosis. This year, we want to recognize the Recovery Network agencies and their staff who change lives and help people succeed in achieving recovery, guiding them to brighter days. Now, therefore, I, Jody A. Perry, Mayor of the City of Mansfield, do hereby proclaim May 2026 Mental Health Awareness Month in Richland County. And before I bring up Carrie, I do want to highlight we are very blessed in the community. She's going to talk about many of the assets that we have. We are blessed to have those in the community. We're also really blessed to have a strong partnership with our law enforcement agency. The Mental Health and Recovery Services Board has been a great partner with our Homeless Response Task Force, where we partner a social worker going out with an officer once or twice a week, depending on the time of year, not for enforcement purposes, but to get people help. And we have also worked to have social workers on mental health crisis calls when the police are involved. So it's just been a really great partnership, and I think that makes a huge difference in our community. So, Carrie, I'll meet you up front. And you know I have to ask everyone to picture.
Okay. Either spot?
Yep.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you. I will be quick. I know you guys have a lot of business this evening, but I did bring with me, and Mayor Perry already passed them out. One of the resources that we have year round is our Richland Recovery Network one-pager, and it's a 2-sided document. We also have extras if anybody in the audience would like to take some with them. But it really is a resource that we think everyone in Richland County should have available. If you ever are in a position where you or someone you know needs behavioral health services, this is your one-stop shop to tell you all the agencies in Richland County that we contract or affiliate with, and where they're located, how to contact them. I'm just going to highlight some of the most important services that we offer quickly, and then I just wanted to highlight a few of the events that are happening for May is Mental Health Month. We're really encouraging the community to get out and attend some of those events to bring awareness to our system. But just so everyone is aware, we do offer a behavioral health 24-hour crisis hotline. That number is 419-522-HELP. Help is 4357. And we also offer a MRSS, which is a mobile response stabilization services line. This is relatively new in the last few years, and this mainly focuses on families with youth or young adults that are up to the age of 20 who might be experiencing difficulties or distress. If they're in a crisis, they will actually respond anywhere in Richland County within 60 minutes. So they will come to you if you're at home, if you're at school, and then they actually create a relationship and stay with that family for up to 42 days to give them the in-home services they need before they transition them into contacting them with another resource or another agency. So the best way to actually get in contact with MRSS, there is a regional number. It is a regionalized program throughout the state of Ohio, but the easiest way is 988. So if you just call 988 and ask for the MRSS contact in Richland County, they will get you connected. Catalyst Life Services, who is our largest provider here in the county, they offer a behavioral health urgent care. So if someone needs to be seen that day and, they really want to sit down and talk to somebody, they can actually walk in and be seen. It's a great program, and Catalyst does a wonderful job with it. Some of the other just highlighting programs, NAMI Richland County, like Mayor Perry mentioned, with the law enforcement officers, they run our CIT training program, which just recently occurred within the last few weeks. And it helps the officers learn how to handle the situations when they come across with individuals who might be experiencing mental health issues. The last thing I will mention is our website, richlandmentalhealth.com. You can get our one pager there, and also richlandrecoverynetwork.com. That is a website we started last year. It's a very easy to navigate resource to help people locate what services they're looking for. If they're looking for youth or adult, within a few clicks, it takes them directly to the local providers information. So that's a great resource as well. But we are very blessed here in Richland County to have such a continuum of care in our behavioral health system. We have wonderful partners and agencies that we work with that provide the services, education, and advocacy to serve those that need it. So the last thing, I did bring the May is Mental Health calendars and a few events that I just wanted to highlight. We really encourage the community to get out and attend if you can. Several of our contract providers are having some events. Tomorrow is one of the first. It is going to be at Catalyst Life Services. It's the annual Kids Carnival, and that will take place from 4:30 to 6:30 p.m. On Saturday, May 16th, 33 Forever will be hosting their 6th annual Mental Health Birthday Walk. That actually is at the Carousel right in downtown Mansfield. That starts around 10:33 a.m. On May 29th, there's 2 events, one earlier in the day and then one that evening. At noon to 2, Family Life Counseling on Marion Avenue will be hosting an event. So if you're free on your lunch hour, feel free to stop out and join them. And then the 29th, from 5 to 9:30 p.m., Mansfield City Schools, along with Mansfield, in collaboration with Mansfield UMADOP, are hosting the annual Peace on My Block, and that is at Arlen Field in Mansfield. Ending the month on May 30th, we have 2 very large events that are occurring. One is going to be at Marshall Park starting at 8 a.m. That is NAMI Richland County. They are hosting a NAMI Walks event. And this is the 2nd year that they're doing that. And it's a great event, very family friendly. So if you have kids, bring them out and join in the fun. And then also later that day from 12 to 4 on May 30th is Healing Hearts is hosting, in collaboration with Mansfield UMADOP, their 6th annual Party in the Park. And that is going to be at South Park. So if you guys ever have any needs, don't hesitate to reach out to our office. We're happy to help in any way we can. Thank you.
You wanted to stand here? Is that easier? Do you want to come down here?
Wherever.
All right. Well, then let's come this way. It'll be a little less awkward. Officer Edwards, would you mind?
Declare off our heads.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
The movers and shakers.
Right in the middle. Yeah.
Everybody hugs. Four good ones.
I gotta take some of her in focus.
The camera's prettier, I will say that. It is prettier. You didn't get the Valerians back here.
You can smell the breath, though.
And Mr. President, I will cede the rest of my time. Thank you.
I'll pick up where she took off. A couple things. The week of May 16th is Safe Boating Week, and we're going to be doing a proclamation out at Charles Mill Lake on May 16th. We sent 2 of our Rangers to Watercraft Safety School today, and they should have graduated today, and they will be out on the lake patrolling and enforcing the watercraft rules and regulations out at Clear Fork Reservoir. Also, our park superintendent, Mike, was accepting an award from Tree City for our 30th anniversary, 30 years growth award for being a Tree City here in Mansfield. Also, our online registration for our summer program, it is over 80% full already. So we have about 40 positions, 40 openings still. So you can do that online. It's the first year that we did registration online, and it's limited to 35 kids per week. And it's at 3 different parks this year. So if you know somebody, get online and get your reservation in because it's filling up quickly. That's all I have.
Thank you. Director Porch?
Thank you, Mr. President. So last week, our firefighters conducted a joint training with the 179th Fire Department out at the airport. So they did live burn training on aircraft. So I'm going to probably butcher this. So it looked like a big circular grill, like the size of a semi, with steel seats and, of course, the propane of fire. And then, as they would go into an aircraft and fight fire and also simulate where the fuel would spill out over the wings. It was extremely impressive to watch them train and to see our people actually getting live fire training, so which is extremely important. The police department, we finally have the date for our civil service exam will be July the 7th. We will announce the times at a later date of the location and where we'll be given that exam. Police memorial is this Monday, the 11th. We'll have a ceremony at 8:30 out on the square. If you could please attend that. Then after the 21 gun salute, they come into the city building and do a little ceremony about 9 o'clock, if you can join then. On that same day at about 2 o'clock, we're going to be promoting 2 officers, 1 officer to sergeant and 1 sergeant to lieutenant, due to our recent retirement of Lieutenant Blust, and looking forward to bring those new members up into those promoted ranks. And I don't know if anybody noticed coming in on the first floor, but we finally finished our new waiting room on the first floor for the police department. I think that was a priority of the mayor to make sure we had a more citizen-friendly environment when coming to the police department for business, and instead of people being stuck in the hallway, sitting in seats. And, if you haven't seen it, please see it. It looks great. Looks like it was built with the building back in '78. So I think it provides a little more privacy and for conducting that kind of business. So that's all I have, sir.
Thank you. Director Converse?
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I owe you all an apology because last meeting when I gave you income tax numbers, I gave you incorrect figures. As the acting income tax director, when I was entering refunds into the system, instead of counting them as an expense, I counted them as a negative revenue. So the revenue that I told you was down was not really down. So it's great news. In fact, as of the end of April, with 33% of the year gone, income tax receipts are 35% of our budget. So that's looking pretty good. Of that, withholding is up 5% over last year. So that means we've got some strong workforce going on in the city. However, individual rate is 16% down from last year, and business is still 8% down from last year. However, overall, we are 1% over the budget or over this period of time last year. So withholding is really carrying our revenue, and it is slightly upticking. So instead of the slight downward trend that I told you last meeting, it is 1% up. So that is good news. General fund revenue is at 36% of the budget right now. Water revenue is 33% of the budget and 4% less than last year. Sewer is 38% of the budget and 2% higher than last year. And refunds for this year for income tax are $125,000 more than last year. So we have more people receiving refunds than in the previous year. And we're still working through mail that has come in. And as we work through that, obviously numbers will change and we'll have a better picture again next month. And that's all I have.
Deputy Director Madden?
No updates from the law director's office. Thank you.
Thank you. So with that, we shall proceed with legislation. We'll start with Bill 26-084, and we'll call on Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Bill 26-084 will be honoring Lieutenant Stephen Blust upon his retirement from the Mansfield Police Department. And I don't think he has joined us this evening, so I will hold this until Assistant Chief Napier comes up for the next piece of legislation.
Okay. Any questions or comments on 84? Okay, moving on to Bill 26-085. Once again, Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. 26-085 will be appointing a new member of the Richland County 911 Review Committee pursuant to ORC Section 12806. And that member is Charlie Robb, is that right, from Shelby?
Okay. Any questions, discussion on 85?
Can I?
Yes, Mayor.
I just so to kind of refresh everyone's memory, I do also serve on this committee. We also have the sheriff, Commissioner Banks, Township Trustee Sam Sauter, and Township Trustee Dan Fletcher. So the way that the ORC set it up is it has to be all different levels. So we had to have a member of a legislative body. And for those of you that don't know Charlie Robb, he was the former Shelby police chief. So certainly has a strong safety background. And we've been hard at work on the 911 committee, and there's a lot happening. So I just wanted to make sure everyone understood why we're appointing someone from Shelby.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Appreciate that. Any other questions, discussion on 85? Okay, moving on to Bill 26-086. Ms. Davis Weiss.
Thank you, Mr. President. At this time, 26-0-086, this is authorizing the Public Works Director to accept and appropriate a grant of $100,000 from the Richland County Foundation, which will be used to restore and renovate the Liberty Park bathhouse, declaring this an emergency.
Any discussions, questions, comments?
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Me again. This came out of a donor advised fund, the Black Family Foundation. So we do want to thank them. We submitted an additional request when we originally got the money from Richland County Foundation and Mill Iron. As everything does, it got more expensive over the year. And we wanted to make sure we could do the full building instead of doing it in two phases. So just really want to thank the donors on that fund and Richland County Foundation for their partnership on this project.
Mr. Falquette?
So with the changing cost, do we have an anticipated total for the project?
The total would be the 560,000, I believe. So this is just replacing the park revenue that we used to get the project up. What we used is we used revenue from the parks to go ahead and get the project started, and this replaced the revenue from the parks. So it's not costing any more. We're just supplementing the park budget since they've fronted the money to get the project after the bid. Does that make sense?
Yep, that makes good sense. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions, discussion, comments on Bill 86? Okay, moving on to Bill 26-087. Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. 26-087, authorizing the Safety Service Director to accept an appropriated grant of $175,000 from the U.S. Department of Justice to be used for the fiscal year 25 DNA backlog reduction program. If the Assistant Chief would like to come up. We spoke about this on Monday, but you can tell the rest of the group what's going on.
Sure can. So the DNA grant. So
Yeah, closer, yeah.
I'll sit. Yeah, yeah, there's a couple. So the DNA grant, 79,850 is our DNA analyst's salary. Her benefits, 26,000. 41,889 is the equipment. So they buy like equipment services. So they maintenance their equipment with that. 23,883 are used for DNA testing supplies, and 3,300 is DNA related like training for Dawn or Maggie.
Any of, Mr. Fauquet?
Thank you. I think I understand that the DNA backlog, if we can call it that, it's maybe less than a month, but it's moving along pretty fast.
Still moving along. It
So
helps with two.
I think that's really commendable for our department to have DNA moving at that speed.
Yes.
So, good
Huge
job.
benefit.
Pass that on to Dawn.
Dawn and Maggie.
Yeah.
Any other comments, questions? Okay, I think you're good.
Yeah, I'm the next one. So
Yep. Bill 26-088 will be authorizing the Safety Service Director to accept and appropriate a grant of $39,140.47 from the Ohio Office of Criminal Justice Services to be used for the replacement of body-worn cameras.
okay, so our body camera project started in 2020. 2021 is when we took delivery of the first ones. They typically have a 5-year kind of shelf life, if you will. So this grant was available. So we're going to start replacing them as they hit the 5-year mark. So this grant specifically is 18 body worn cameras. The licensing fees for 2 years and a new computer for the kiosk. So officers come to work, they type their badge number into the computer tells them which body camera to take. That's how the kiosk works. And it's worked out probably better than what we thought. Originally, we were going to issue everybody cameras. This kind of takes the person out of it because it won't issue you one unless it's fully charged and fully downloaded. So this system has actually worked exactly how we were hoping that it would. And storage in the lab. The lab will now have their own standalone server. We won't have to buy disks and hard drives, and it will save us in that. So now they're just going to have their own server off network.
Mr. Fauquet?
Thank you, sir. Total number of body cameras for the department, and do you need more, or do you have enough?
No, yeah, so we have plenty. Right now, with this 18, it will get us up to 90. Like I said, we're starting to run into malfunctions, so we're out servicing some of the body cameras. We still have brand new ones in boxes. We have roughly 40 in service that we pay for a year, but we have plenty to supplement that. So it is always ongoing. So we'll just replace them as they meet their end of life. Yep.
Any other questions, discussion on Bill 26-088? Okay, guess we're good. Thank you. Next, we'll have Bill 26-089, Ms. Davis-Weiss.
Thank you, Mr. President. Yes, this is for the authorization of the Public Works Director to accept and appropriate a grant of $2,500 from the Richland County Foundation, which will also be used for the summer fun in the parks and declaring this an emergency.
Any discussion on Bill 26-089? Mr. Fauquet?
Thank you, Mr. President. I heard some things, and I don't know if anybody here could address them, that maybe the fun in the summer parks is going to take a few changes. I think the last few years it was stationary at one park, and they had a very specific program that was like every day. And then I heard maybe that it's bouncing around. Is there anybody that could expand, or should we wait till next meeting to get an expansion?
We did expand it to different parks because we wanted to be in different communities' needs. So, but the other thing we did is we have a week theme that we follow. So we have 8 weeks, I believe, and each week we have a different theme. So before you just signed up and you came the whole summer, all 5 days, it's usually the same 50 kids. And this way it breaks it up, and we'll get new people that are doing it, and they'll be able to go a week and learn something about a particular skill they might be interested in with the different themes.
Mrs. Meyer?
So when you say it's, are we keeping it at multiple parks at one time? Or it's going to be at North Lake and then it will be at Brinkerhoff and then is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there'll be 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and each day is a different park.
Okay. Mr. Diaz?
So,
Mrs. Daly?
is it the same student, kids, or not sure?
They can sign up for a week, so to be the same kids for a week. And then if they want to do another week, it's a week at a time. Before, they just do the whole summer, and it would lock out a lot of kids that were not able to go. So this way it gives a better opportunity for different communities to join and also have a theme. So it's more diverse and hitting different parts of the city versus just being at North Lake week after week after week.
So it's just less time,
Yes.
basically. So problem for the parents. Thank you.
Okay. Now, Mr. Diaz.
Excuse me. Yeah, I remember like most of us who went to summer fun programs back in the day, how back then, you know, it was different. We had all the parks had it going on, but I know in recent years, it's been primarily at North Lake Park. And I'm sorry, Director Anders, who's the new rec coordinator? Is it Courtney?
Courtney Freshwater.
Okay, I've spoke to her a few times, and I do love Revision because I like that they're actually going to be focusing on a different area each time, because I know we don't have the manpower to do all the parks, but I love the structure of it. I really think that it's like there's some meat to it, and it's no, you know, it's not criticizing the past, but I think that there's a lot more buzz on it. I think we all obviously want there to be something in all the parks, but I think that this new format is really good, and I like that they're including a lot of different folks in it, and yeah, I just want to say that.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Davis-Weiss?
I agree with Raylio. I like the concept that it's hitting other parks because we're going to bring in a different layer of demographics. One of the things that I believe in is like community care. And when we bring things into different communities, it just kind of shows how much you care for those communities in doing so. So that engages more community. It's going to engage more people to want to be involved. I think that this approach will actually build a bigger and a stronger program long term. I know that there will be some complaints about people saying it should be all in one area. But one thing about the Summer Fun program, although it is there and it's wonderful, it is, I don't want this to sound negative, but it's not necessarily like daycare for people to drop. It is a place where kids can go, learn something, be engaged, meet new friends. And by placing it in these various areas, I think that will be helpful. And overall, I also agree that this is a better idea. I like this vision.
Ms. Daly?
So my question is, it is because of funding why we're not having, or because of you don't have enough people to.
No, not necessarily. I mean, we did not get the HUD money that we'd had in the past, but also we have better resources and we're partnering with more groups that are not charging us for those. In the past, we paid people to come and do the programs. Now we're getting volunteers and people donating their times and resources. So we're able to leverage that money that we have, which is limited, to get out more to do programs in the community.
Okay. Because I love that program because it helped my kids. So
Mhm.
that's why I asked them, because I know it will help a lot of kids. Thank you.
Okay, any other question? Oh,
Just real quick, I did want to make sure everyone knows we are continuing with the partnership with the Cleveland Food Bank, though, so there still will be lunch provided. So I think that's been an important piece of it, and that is continuing.
okay, very good. Good discussion. Is there anything else on 26-089? Okay. Next, we have 26-090, Ms. Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Bill number 26-090 is authorizing the reduced payment of the approved claim number 32-112425 of Alexa Mabry at 287 Central Avenue, Mansfield, Ohio, 44905, and declaring an emergency.
Is there any questions, discussion on Bill 26-090? Okay, hearing none. 26-091, Ms. Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Bill 26-091 is authorizing the reduced payment of the approved claim number 28-102025 to Nick Godfrey of 3629 Rockport Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio, 44111, and declaring an emergency.
Any discussion on Bill 26-091? Okay, moving on then to Bill 26-092. Once again, Ms. Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Bill 26-092 is authorizing the reduced payment of the approved claim number 30-110525 of Samantha Henthorn of 413 Pearl Avenue, Mansfield, Ohio, 44907, and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-092? Okay, hearing none. Is there anything else further to come before caucus this evening? If not, I ask for a motion to close. Mr.
Second.
It's been regularly moved and seconded that we close caucus. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. We are adjourned. With that, I'll call this session on Mansfield City Council to order. Please stand for the pledge and remain standing for the prayer. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we ask that you be with us this evening, guide us in our discussions and thoughts, lead us to make good decisions, watch over our city, watch over our first responders. In your name, amen.
Amen. The clerk will now call the roll.
Mr. Miranda,
Present.
Mrs. Meyer, Mrs. Davis Weiss,
Present.
Miss Daly,
Here.
Mr. Diaz,
Here.
Miss Mount,
Here.
Miss Robertson,
Here.
Mr. Falquette,
Here.
President Scott.
Present. Okay, moved right through that. With that, is there anyone that wishes to sign up for public comment? Well, I know we have one, so if you want to come on up to the microphone there, Gwendolyn.
You can try to spell last name. It's okay if you don't.
Stadelman? I got it.
I'm starting to feel like we're becoming friends.
Okay, but I still need you to give your name and address, please.
Absolutely.
And once again, a reminder, 3 minutes.
Correct. Gwendolyn Stadelman, 1360 Royal Oak Drive. Sorry, old eyes. The reason I'm here is there eventually will be a vote on zoning for the Buc-ee's property, and I wanted to step up in advance before you actually do it. So I have a few things I want to share with you. As of 2026, there are approximately 74,000 farmers in Ohio. Of those 74,000, the average age is 56.3 years old. Ohio farms have had and seen a decline of approximately 2.4% of farms in 2023 and 2024, continuing a long trend of decreasing farm numbers year over year. With the decline, Ohio is seeing the biggest trend of middle-sized farms disappearing. About 65% of Ohio farms are less than 100 acres, specializing in crops such as corn, soybeans, and hay. Many of these small farms have primary occupations other than farming. Agriculture is Ohio's top industry, producing $9.3 billion in agricultural products annually. In Richland County, small farms under 50 acres make up about 51% of all the operations in the county. In this county, agricultural is diverse, but heavily focused on grain and poultry. The county's net cash farm income saw a massive 121% increase between the years 2017 and 2022, reaching over $83 million. Lease farming is part of a steady upward trend in north central Ohio as production costs and land values rise. Richland County sees a significant amount of leased farm land annually, where the farmer owns some of the land and rents additional acreage to expand their farming operations. Ohio Farm Bureau shows that roughly 40% of all Ohio farmland is rented rather than owned or by the operator or farmer. Benefits of the leased land for landowners: steady incomes without needing to manage farm operations. Property maintenance: the tenant maintains or improves the leased land, boosting its value. Benefits for farmers: lower capital requirement. It enables the farmer to use specialized equipment to assist and aid in farming the land. Financial flexibility: leased land allows testing new products, new ways of farming that are more beneficial to the land itself. It also reduces long-term risks with the financial flexibility. Shared investments: opportunities for long-term lease arrangements. Farm size breakdown: small farms are approximately under 50
Okay,
acres.
3 minutes. Okay.
Is it done?
You've got 3, but you can wrap it up quickly.
Okay. Basically, what I want to tell you is Mr. Stadelman is a large size farmer in Ohio. He has a small plot that will be next to Buc-ee's. That's his base. However, when you break it down, small farms are under 50 acres. Medium farms are 50 to 500. 500 acres to 1,000 or larger is a large farm. Mr. Stadelman is a large farmer. He just chooses to lease the farmland, which is financially more respectable to his pocket. The reason I gave you all of those statistics is because I wanted you to be aware of that. I've seen the map. I understand what is the intent to put in 3 roundabouts, and I have to say that I'm highly disappointed that these roundabouts are going to take the end of his driveway away, and he is going to be driving through traffic of going to Buc-ee's, which is going to not only put himself at risk, but is also going to put the patrons of Buc-ee's at risk, because these people are going to be excited. They're going to be looking, oh, look at where we're going to. They want to go. I'm not adverse to this building, but I am adverse to seeing that the end of his driveway being removed and him becoming a sacrificial, as I call it, sacrificial lamb to Buc-ee's. I think there needs to be a little give and take with what is happening for Mr. Stadelman, who is a long-term resident of Richland County, and also some leeway too with Buc-ee's as well. So I ask that you consider what I've told you just for future reference. I thank you for your time.
Okay, with that, are there any other committee reports? Okay, Mayor, I believe you had another proclamation now?
Wait, there's more.
Okay.
All right. Well, this is also Building Safety Month. We do have our Director of Permitting and Development, Adrian Ackerman, here tonight. And we decided that this has been celebrated for many years, but it's kind of our first time acknowledging it with all the work that we've done under her leadership, course, last year passing the International Property Maintenance Code, and that this was a good time to remind people that they should be doing things properly, coming in, getting their permits, getting things walked through. So let me read through this a little quickly here. Mansfield, Ohio is committed to recognizing our growth and strength depend on the safety and essential role in our homes, buildings, and infrastructure, both in everyday life and when disasters strike. Our confidence in the resilience of these buildings that make up our community is achieved through the devotion of vigilant guardians, the building safety and fire prevention officials, architects, engineers, builders, tradespeople, design professionals, laborers, plumbers, and others in the construction industry who work year-round to ensure the safe construction of buildings. And these guardians are dedicated members of the International Code Council, or ICC, a nonprofit that brings together local, state, territorial, tribal, and federal officials who are experts in the built environment to create and implement the highest quality codes and standards to protect us in the buildings where we live, learn, work, and play. These modern building codes and standards include safeguards to protect the public from hazards such as hurricanes, snowstorms, tornadoes, wildland fires, floods, and earthquakes. ICC sponsors Building Safety Month to remind the public about the critical role of our community's largely unknown public protectors of public safety, the code officials who assure us of safe, sustainable, and affordable buildings that are essential to our prosperity. Built to Last is the theme for Building Safety Month of 2026 and encourages us all to get involved and raise awareness about building safety on a personal, local, and global scale. And each year in observance of Building Safety Month, people all over the world are asked to consider the commitment to improve building safety, resilience, and economic investment at home and in the community, and to acknowledge the essential service provided by all of these people. Now, therefore, I, Jody A. Perry, Mayor of the City of Mansfield, do hereby proclaim May 2026 as Building Safety Month. So with that, if you want to come up and add anything, and I'll come down and yes, one more picture.
Oh, boy.
Passing around a packet of flyers just so everyone can watch for those to come. But good evening. Thank you, Mayor, for the proclamation recognizing Building Safety Month. I believe this is the first time we are formally recognizing it. Building Safety Month and building safety is something that plays such a critical role in our community every single day. Building Safety Month's an annual public awareness campaign led by ICC, and is the leading global source of our model codes and standards. When most people think about safety in our neighborhoods and codes, we immediately think of vacant or condemned structures, properties that need to be demolished. Building safety is really about the spaces that we use every single day. It's the wiring in our homes. It's the strength of a porch or a roof that keeps a family safe. It's safe exits in buildings. And it's ensuring that everyone's protected in the places they live, work, and visit. Success in building safety is invisible. It's when nothing goes wrong. It's when systems and structures work the way they're supposed to, and people are safe without even having to think about it. Too often we focus on reacting to problems, dangerous structures, emergency situations, and code violations, but building safety at its core is about prevention. It's about making sure that those problems never happen in the first place. Building Safety Month is also important because it helps move the conversation from reactive to proactive, and it helps educate the public about the role that we play in maintaining safe buildings and homes. So in your flyers, you'll see that there's a theme for each week in Building Safety Month. The first week is called Safe Homes, Strong Communities, and it focuses on stability and strong neighborhoods. Week 2 is Voices of the Built Environment, and it focuses on the professionals who work diligently to ensure safety in all these structures. Week 3 is Prepared to Protect, and it focuses on preparation and planning to prevent emergencies. And then week 4 is Communities Without Limits, which focuses on accessibility in buildings so that everyone can fully enjoy their use. Our permitting and development team and fire prevention are engaged in this work every single day, and much of it happens behind the scenes, reviewing plans, conducting inspections, and ensuring compliance, but it has a direct impact on the safety and stability of our neighborhoods. The proclamation is important because it brings visibility to that work. Building safety is not just about structures, it's about people.
It's about protecting lives, preserving property, and supporting a stronger community. And I hope this is the first step towards local public education about the work that we do. Thank you.
Okay, let's change it up this time. Maybe we should stay back here. Okay. Sure.
Oh, listen to her.
Hey, Mama.
Al's gonna make us proud again.
He's got this. He got all those accolades.
I needed that.
Center.
You are. Yes, ma'am.
You know, so I'm looking it out.
I won't say any names. Good deal.
Okay, now move.
Oh.
Yeah, Carl's right behind you.
Come on, Carl.
Thanks.
Yes.
What happens when you focus?
Yeah, sorry. I do want to just add real quick a couple things. So we did the state of the city last week. I just want to make sure that everyone has a chance to see the video year-end recap of the 5-minute 2025 recap. So if you haven't seen it, it's on the website. It's on Facebook. I think DRM did a great job, and there was a lot that happened last year. So again, I might have been the one narrating it, but it is the work of everyone in this building and all of our outbuildings. And I just would like to say that I continue to have more people coming up and just saying how encouraged they are by the things that are happening in the community. I hear that in the building as well on a increasing basis. So I think we're headed in the right direction. Number two, we did finally sign our blue and gold police contracts this week. So we are officially done with this administration's first round of union contracts. Yay. Appreciate Officer or Detective Kaufman and Lieutenant Grimshaw for heading up both of those units and all the work that they do. And I did want to give you a preview. We have had almost 2,000 responses to the pool survey. So yes, I said, well, if there's one thing we're not short of in Mansfield, it is opinion. So it's great. We love it. And actually our consultant just, by the way, said he had done this in a recent community, similar size. They had not even 200. So, but it has generated robust conversation internally with the steering committee. We're going to be coming back with a public survey again with some options. So be on the lookout for that. Of course, we'll put a press release out and launch it at council, but I know some folks have asked, and it's exciting and expensive. So stay tuned.
Okay, then we shall proceed with legislation. Turn the mic on. We shall now proceed with legislation, and I'll call on Mrs. Daly for the suspension of the rules.
There is Monday deadline. There are no debate bills. Suspension of the rules. I move with respect to all bills that come before council this evening that the rule requiring reading on 3 different days be suspended, and that each bill be read one time by title only.
Second.
Okay, it's been regularly moved and seconded. The motion should be before you. Motion passes 8-0. So we'll proceed on with them with the first piece of legislation, which is Bill 26-084, and I'll call on Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-084 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded, and the clerk shall read Bill 26-84.
Honoring Lieutenant Stephen Blues upon his retirement from the Mansfield Police Department. that council, on behalf of the government and the citizens of the Mansfield community, is privileged to honor and pay tribute to Lieutenant Stephen Blust upon his retirement from the city of Mansfield effective May 1st, 2026. After almost 34 years of dedicated service, Lieutenant Stephen Blust served his last day for the Mansfield community on May 1st, 2026. He began his distinguished career with the division in 1992, serving as a parole officer assigned to the Community Service Bureau. Through dedication, professionalism, and a commitment to excellence, he advanced through the ranks, earning promotion to sergeant in July 2015 and then to lieutenant in May of 2022. Throughout his career, Lieutenant Blust has served in a variety of critical assignments. He spent time in the Major Crimes Detective Section before transferring to the SIU Metrich Unit, where he served with distinction as an officer, sergeant, and lieutenant. His contributions in these roles demonstrated strong leadership, investigative expertise, and an unwavering commitment to public safety. Lieutenant Blust's exemplary performance has been recognized multiple times over the course of his career. He was named Officer of the Year in 1998, Detective of the Year in 2003, and Supervisor of the Year in 2016. In addition to his primary assignments, Lieutenant Blust served as a field training officer, helping to mentor and develop the next generation of officers. He is also certified CBSA, Computer Voice Stress Analyzer, examiner, further contributing to investigative capabilities within the division. From 1998 to 2008, he served as a member of the SWAT team, demonstrating his willingness to take on high-risk assignments in service to the community. After more than 3 decades of dedicated service, Lieutenant Blust leaves behind a legacy of professionalism, leadership, and commitment to the citizens he served and the officers he mentored. The division extends its sincere gratitude and appreciation to Lieutenant Stephen Blust for his years of honorable service and wishes him the very best in his retirement.
Thank you. Is there any discussion, comments on Bill 26-084? Okay. Seeing none. Mrs. Meyer?
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-084 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-084. Bill passes 8-0. Moving on to Bill 26-085. Mrs. Meyer?
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-085 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-085.
Appointing a new member to the Richland County 911 Review Committee pursuant to ORC Section 128.06 and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-085? Okay. Hearing none. Mrs. Meyer?
I move that Bill 26-085 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-085. Bill passes 8-0. Bill 26-086. Ms. Davis-Weiss.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26086 be moved to the floor and read for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-086.
Authorizing the Public Works Director to accept and appropriate a grant of $100,000 from the Richland County Foundation to be used for the restoration and renovation of the Liberty Park Bathhouse and declaring an emergency.
Any discussion on Bill 26-086? Hearing none. Ms. Davis-Weiss.
Yes. At this time, I move that Bill 26-8086 be moved to the floor for vote.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-086. Bill passes 8-0. Bill 26-087. Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-087 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-087.
authorizing the Safety Service Director to accept and appropriate a grant of $175,000 from the U.S. Department of Justice to be used for the FY25 DNA Backlog Reduction Program and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-087? Hearing none. Mrs. Meyer?
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-087 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-087. Bill passes 8-0. Bill 26-088, Mrs. Meyer.
Thank you, sir. I move the Bill 26-088 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-088.
Authorizing the Safety Service Director to accept and appropriate a grant of $39,140.47 from the Ohio Office of Criminal Justice Services to be used for the replacement of body-worn cameras and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-088? Hearing none. Mrs. Meyer?
Thank you, sir. I move that Bill 26-088 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved. Second, council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-088. Bill passes 8-0. Bill 26-089, Ms. Davis Weiss.
Yes, Mr. President, I move that Bill 26089 be read and placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-089.
Authorizing the Public Works Director to accept and appropriate a grant of $2,500 from the Richland County Foundation to be used for summer fun in the parks and declaring an emergency.
Any discussion on Bill 26-089? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Davis Weiss.
Yes, Mr. President, I move that Bill 26-089 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and second. Council cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-089. Bill passes 8-0. Bill 26-090, Ms. Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26-090 be placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-090.
Authorizing the reduced payment of the approved claim number 32-112425 of Alexa Mabry, 287 Central Avenue, Mansfield, Ohio 44905, and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-090? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26-090 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-090. Bill passes 8-0. Bill 26-091, Ms. Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26-091 be placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-091.
Authorizing the reduced payment of the approved claim number 28-102025 of Nick Godfrey, 3629 Rockport Avenue, Cleveland, Ohio 44111, and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-091? Hearing none. Ms. Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26-091 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council will cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-091. Bill passes 8-0. Bill 26-092, Ms. Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26-092 be placed upon the floor for discussion.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. The clerk shall read Bill 26-092.
Authorizing the reduced payment of the approved claim number 30-110525 of Samantha Hinthorn, 413 Pearl Avenue, Mansfield, Ohio 44907, and declaring an emergency.
Is there any discussion on Bill 26-092? Okay, hearing none. Ms. Robertson?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move that Bill 26-092 be placed upon the floor for final passage.
Second.
Been regularly moved and seconded. Council shall cast their vote for final passage of Bill 26-092. Bill passes 8-0. That concludes our legislation. Is there anything else further to come before council this evening? Not
Move
accept
to
the motion.
close.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. We adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Hearing none, we are adjourned.